What's going on, everybody? It's Hollywood CGA back in here with the Boss Up channel. Appreciate y'all for being here. Do me a favor, man. The first thing I need you to do is I want you to like this video. And if you're an old school Coach Gang member, do me a favor, man. Subscribe, resubscribe back to this channel. I know I've been missing from this channel for a lot of years, but I'm back on this channel with the priority of the Boss Up era being here. And check this out, man. I want you to celebrate the 15 years that I've been here on YouTube. 15 years I've been putting it in. My first video uploaded to this platform was 2011, and I've been putting in that work. So do me a favor, man, smash that like button. And we're gonna talk about why your life is shit right now. All right, why your life is not where you want it to be. And I can help you out with that. I've helped many thousands of men and women over my life get their life together and overcome deficiencies that they think that they never would have overcame. Now, this is going to be some tough talk. So the first thing I want you to do is I want you to think about this. Other than smashing that like button, I want you to think about this. Why are you letting life happen to you instead of going to make life happen? You're waiting for life to happen. You're waiting for the money tree to fall on your face, and it never will. All right. You got to take action. You are waiting for life to happen to you. Every single thing you do, you're just on your heels. A small thing happens and there's a major setback. Believe me, I've been there. And these are the things that are preventing you from getting to where you need to go because you're waiting for life to happen to you instead of going to make life happen. Now, you have to think about this. If your life is shit, the first thing you need to do is look right at your stomach. All right, everybody do this right now. You're watching this video. You thought it was going to be some regular motivation-ish, but you getting to hear some tough talk. I want you to look at your midsection right now. What your midsection looks like is exactly why your life is the way it is. Now, don't give me no exception to the rule stuff right now. Don't give me the, well, I know some big people that know they are successful. I don't want to hear none of that. Your midsection is a direct correlation of what your life looks like. So if you sloppy and you're out of shape, you look like you got Dunlap disease, you look like you're a busted Pillsbury biscuit can, the reality is that's the way your life is. You're dysfunctional, you're disorganized, you're chaotic, just like your stomach, just like your midsection. And what you need to do right now is clean the lint right out of your belly button before you decide to make judgments about what other people are doing right now. The reality is you're not doing what you need to do to make life happen. Life is just happening to you and you're responding. You don't have any answers, no solutions. But let me give you these three things. Let me clear this up. Let me give you three things to change directions here. See, here's the thing. If you want to change the direction of your life right now, you got to get some standards. You got to get standards, all right? Not just for dating and women and relationships. You got to get standards about your life. And I know what you're going to tell me. I got standards, coach. I got standards. I'm a Christian, all right? I'm a Muslim. All right, I follow these principles. I read this book and these principles are my guidelines. They're the standards. But these aren't standards. These are generic things that other people have come up with to determine the direction of their life. And they suggested it to you, but it is not your job to take those and run with it. Those are generic. You did not come up with those. Now you can borrow from other people, but coming up with them is what you need to do. You need to develop a philosophy that guides your life. And you're going to say, well, what's your philosophy, coach? It is the free agent lifestyle that had guided me to this particular point in my life where I wrote down a manual on what it took for me to get to where I needed to be, all right, to overcome those deficiencies. But you, on the other hand, you don't have any philosophy. See, every coach, every leader has a philosophy. Now, the philosophy that they have might not match with everybody that works for them or plays for them as an athlete, but their philosophy, they're going to recruit people that matches their philosophy, that matches their leadership style. It's not that you don't like their leadership style. It's that it just doesn't match with you. And you have to settle for a leadership style, for a lifestyle, for a standard that is not generic, that not everybody accepts. So that's okay. Everybody doesn't have to accept it. It's about your life and making life happen for you. Generic standards, religion, all right, the 10 Commandments, anybody can come up with those. That's not going to make you win. I could have come up with that, but I had to think further. So come up with some standards for your life. Some of you guys don't even have dating standards. You don't even have standards of who you have sexual relations with. All right, you just go with anybody. All right, anybody that will scratch that itch. Anybody will make you feel good. Once you get to the point where you have standards and guidelines, then 90% of the people that are available to you, they won't even measure up. And that way you can have some direction.
The world only moves for those who take control and force it to respect them. Success is the
high school at track practice. All right, I was goofing around.
Become legends.
All right, let's go to the next point right here. Your priorities aren't straight. I remember somebody said that to me in high school at track practice. All right, I was goofing around. We were working on our starts and the blocks, and I just wasn't paying attention. All right, and at one particular point, the person that was helping me was a senior. I was a sophomore at the time, and he came behind me, pause, and he just pushed me like that, pushed me ever so slightly, and I stumbled. I fell backwards, off balance, and he looked at me with disappointment. These words still stick with me today. All right, and that was like 35 years ago. He said, "You need to get your priorities straight," and he walked off. Okay, sometimes people can say the smallest things to you and they mean a lot, because he was right. And instead of getting defensive, I had to go ahead and realize that my priorities were not straight. I didn't have my grades right. I was not focused. Okay, I was definitely not focused on what we were doing. And as a result, he was able to just push me off balance just like that. And he said, "Your priorities aren't straight." What are your priorities? I can't answer that for you. But I guarantee you, if your life is not together, your priorities aren't straight. You're easily distracted. Okay, people can come up to you and you might be trying to save money and they're like, "We going out on Thursday night." And then you blow your whole budget right out there. And then you blame them. You blame the economy. You blame society. You blame the boomers or whatever you have to blame. You blame the Gen Z for the fact that you don't have priorities and you don't have self-discipline. That's your fault. That's your fault. It's not theirs. Okay, and that's what you have to look at. You have to get your priorities straight to the point where nothing distracts you. Nobody bumps you off your square. Everything you do is intentional. You're living life very intentionally. Every decision you make, every step you take means that these are the steps in the right direction. Any misstep, any step that someone else wants me to take just for their own personal satisfaction, and that includes families and friends, it ain't the right step, so I'm not doing it. And certainly when you have standards, you won't be able to be knocked off your square just as easy. You're gonna have a balanced life, even though it might be boring, but it's headed in the right direction, because every day you live properly and intentionally is gonna compound in a positive direction for you. Compound over time. See, y'all trying to win life right now at 25, 26. Most people don't win life at 25 and 26. But at 25 and 26, I thought I was winning life. I made a decision that harmed my life for the next 20 years, all right? It's like that. And then I had to make some great action steps to recover from that. All of those deficiencies, all of those mistakes. And it happens to the best of us. We all make mistakes. There's no judgment in that. But living with no standards and living undisciplined with your priorities out of whack, that'll get you. That'll get you. And it'll also not get you sympathy. Definitely not by me. That's on you. The last reason why your life is out of whack right now, why your life is shit, because you a hating ass mother. That's why. You a hater. You hate what everybody else does. You're watching, you're seething, and you're looking at everybody's life, and you wish that you had that life. Yeah, man, you wish that you had that life. But instead of going out to get that life, developing a philosophy, developing standards, all right, getting your priorities straight. You hating from the sidelines. And what happens is all of that energy causes you to take back steps. It also causes you to say, well, I don't need all of that. I don't need that because, those people aren't happy, or whatever coping mechanism you come up with. And what tends to happen is you'll never get those things. You just gonna still be hating on the sideline. And that's gonna be your fault. Not everybody else's. It's gonna be your fault. See, hating requires a significant amount of energy. When you scroll through your Instagram and your TikTok, how much hate do you give to people who you don't even know? You even give them hate, telling them they shouldn't even show that type of lifestyle. Oh, people shouldn't show that. They shouldn't flex. That's you being a hater. That's you being a hater. You don't need to see that. Well, delete the Instagram, delete the TikTok, delete the YouTube. Just because you can't do it, just because you don't want to overcome your deficiencies, just because you don't want to put down the potato chips and the soda and the weed, doesn't mean people can't enjoy their lives. See, that's your problem, not theirs. And we don't want to make losers the problem out here. We don't want to make them the problem. We don't want to focus on those individuals. We want to teach you. We want to give you the action steps to do this. Your parents failed you. Your father didn't tell you this. Your mama ran off your father. Your mama belly button definitely got lint in it. Yes, your mama. Well, at the end of the day, what you have to do is then reevaluate your life. Write down all of the things that you need to do. Create the vision board, create the life that you want to create in your mind, and give it 5 to 10 years for it to come to fruition. And it will, 100%. But you're not going to get it hating on the sideline with all that negative energy. So we want you to take some positive steps. There's 2 things you can do. This is my call to action to you. This is what you can do. You can set up a coaching call. I'm going to drop the link right down there in the description box. You can set up a coaching call. I have 3 tiers of coaching calls that you can do and set up with me on Calendly. All right. If you're watching this video years later, I might have switched the coaching platform. It happens. All right. I was using another one, and 2 years later, I'm using another one. So just catch up. Go to the latest video. Get the latest link if you're watching this years from now. Click the link, look at the tiers that I have available for you, and find the one that is suitable for you. And I'm available to you for that. If you don't like those coaching call options, that's not a big deal. I want you to get together a small amount of money. Go to the Patreon link that you see down there. That is the money mindset. We are on the elite level of the money mindset. Certainly, if you're watching this years later, we have transitioned to the elite level. But we have 3+ years of streams right over there that will get you in the right mindset to change the direction of your life. Right down there on patreon.com/Coach Greg Adams. That is the money mindset. That originated from the blue chip mindset streams that I used to do back in 2022 and 2023. Valuable information, not only for content creation, but also for your financial information that you need to do and the mindset that you need to go into every single Monday. We're going to get your life right with these particular links. If you made it this far in the video, do me a favor, man. If you took no action, well, your life is going to take no action. You didn't hit the like button. You certainly didn't subscribe. You didn't check the description box. You didn't look at the belly button lint that you have in your stomach right now. You didn't make any action, so that determines where your life is going to go. And I'm a simple man, all right? I've helped a lot of people. I've even helped myself. So do me a favor, man. It's time to boss up. And I want to help you. I'm here to help you, but it ain't going to be easy. If you think you're just going to slap some words to a paper and change your life, well, you're sadly mistaken. All right. It's going to take some hard work to be able to do so. And I've helped thousands of people at this particular point be able to complete this. Shout out to you. I appreciate y'all for watching. We out of here. Peace.
Man, shout out my guy CGA. Shout out my guy CGA. Dropping some game right there. I took a couple notes. Chaps together. Took a couple notes. It's that season, it's that time, dog. But like, real talk, when is it never not that time? You know what I mean? Like, when is it never not the time to boss up, get your shit together? You get what I'm saying? Because ultimately, you gotta really think about it, man. We live in an amazing time right now on so many different fronts. Like, you gotta really put in perspective the levels of success that people are reaching right now due to the advent of many of these new technologies like social media, of course, AI recently. It's been able to decrease the amount of time from inception to progress. I think before, like, probably just earlier in the 2000s, I think before it was easy to, or excuse me, it wasn't as easy to get a business up and running, to gain visibility for your business, to network through the channels that are available today. I mean, to be honest with you, without even being a part of that time, and making those efforts in those time, walking in those shoes, and still just trying to figure it out today. I don't think I don't think we'll really understand. And I amongst my excuse me, myself amongst many others are not seeing this opportunity. Now, if you are, great. Obviously, if you've taken the chance to turn on your mic, start a channel, just talk about something, get something out there, whatever. If you haven't begun that, I think ultimately you will get left behind, because just look out into the real world today. Like, where is everybody's attention? Where is their focus at? Psh, It's usually not out in the real world. I mean, when I'm out in the real world, I see people's focus in their phone on the screen. That's where I see their focus. But shout out to my guy CGA. Definitely be giving some game. Motherfucker funny as hell too. Funny as hell. But I gotta agree with my guy too though, man. Gotta get off the sideline. Gots to get off the sideline. And truthfully, one of the realizations I'm coming to as of late is success, success, success in life, especially like monetary success. It truly is an outward manifestation of what you're able to conjure up internally. You get what I'm saying? Like, real life, real world success is just an outward manifestation of what you're able to conjure up from the inside. It's taking things from the mental plane and producing real results in the physical plane, the 3D, the real earth ethereal plane, right? So interesting idea to think about. It certainly is. I would say a verifiable concept, and of course this is not always applicable to every person. Also, you have to define success too. In this respect, I'm mainly referring to like monetary success. Monetary. In this case, I'm referring to monetary success. It sounds like I'm saying excess, success. Like these different frames of perspective, these different windows, these different channels. You gotta think about it. I don't think there's never been a time on earth. There's never been a time on earth where people had such a direct direct access into your very life. Of course, what you choose to share, but anything for that matter. You gotta think through the lens of my camera, through the lens of my phone. I'm basically providing people an insight to how I'm viewing life, how I view the world. It's an interesting concept to think about. Interesting idea, that is. I don't think we're supposed to have access to something like this. At any given time, you can see, what someone's up to, what they're posting, what's on their mind. It's obviously a creation of their own. So you definitely got to think that obviously whatever content they're putting out or producing it's something that's quite heavily attached to their psyche, their psychology, their orientation. I know, Thursday. Every time I hop on this mug, maybe that's just natural. Maybe I just got to give me some. Oh, I did have some water. I did have some water. Yeah, this UT jersey is hard. This UT jersey is hard. Jersey sweatshirt. This UT sweatshirt is hard. But yeah, had to give me some water, man. Shit. Gotta stay hydrated. Thinking of potentially bumping back up to 15 grams of creatine per day. I think that's the sweet spot. 10 is good, but I feel like 15, an extra 5, does something to you. Does something to you. Let's see. Shout out to my guy, CGA. Shout out to my guy. I've been listening to a lot of like Napoleon Hill. Going back to the roots. Listen to like a lot of Napoleon Hill, Jim Rohn. Trying to get back to listen to the OGs. Huge part of my, say, research. Huge part of my research, I guess I say, has been on the topic of input, output analysis. Come on, what the fuck going on here? It's been on input and output analysis. And so, taking an audit and inventory of my life, and obviously this is something you can apply to yourself as well. Taking an audit and inventory, I was saying earlier today, I think it was when I was taking a walk outside. To better understand where you're going, it's good to know where you're at. Like if you legit want to start to map out a path for yourself, I think one of the marks on the paper, one of the marks on your plan or strategy, your map is gonna be starting point. And starting point is where you're at. All right, because you're making the plan in the moment, so you start where you're at. We're gonna build our map. I'm using one of these GPTs to help me build it because I do like the idea of it. It was a good idea. I really did like it. I don't know if I left the Google windows open. Yeah, these are pretty cool. It made me kind of a spreadsheet. The IO audit. First step is to view your life through an input, process, output. Input, process, output model. In this system, your success is an output produced by the resources you consume and the mental processes you run. So, I mean, that's pretty self-explanatory. I'll read it again. In this system, your success is an output produced by the resources you consume and the mental processes you run. Inputs, what you bring to the machine. Examples: motivation, personality, core abilities, and physical health. Then you have processes, how you transform inputs into results, decision-making protocols, daily routines, and learning habits. Outputs, the tangible results produced by the system: net worth, current weight, knowledge level, and career satisfaction. So this was pretty cool. A systems audit basically treats your life as a machine that converts inputs, i.e., information, energy, beliefs, into outputs, results, performance, well-being, by analyzing this process through validated frameworks. One of the ones they provide here is Ray Dalio's 5-step process, or the psychological cap, PsyCap. You can pinpoint exactly where leakage or friction is occurring in your personal success. We'll say that again, your personal success. I'd be like success. Your personal success. So that's our project tonight. I spent a lot of time contemplating on what value I bring to the world, want to bring to the world. What value I bring to the world or want to bring to the world. How to package that up, sell it, market it. But that's where I've always stayed, is just the thinking about it part. It just being an idea part. I never reached that point of action, of actually taking. I've written plenty of things down in a book. I've taken plenty of notes, journal thoughts, but it's never been a system around it. So it's just a bunch of pieces just floating in the realm of chaos. There's never been any system formulation around it, in which I was actually using said system to produce results, desired results. Start by tracking your progress. There's a good saying that goes, what you measure grows. So start tracking your progress. If you're in the gym, you're working out, you're just starting, whatever it is, man. All right, you're X amount of pounds today. If you have like a biometric scanning scale, find out what your body fat percentage is. Find out what all your health metrics are. Jot them down. But if it's gonna be a true intentional change where you're expecting drastic or measurable results, you have to measure them. Acting like it's gonna happen by osmosis is crazy, and that's how I've approached so many different things. Is just acting as if it was just going to happen, just because I kinda did this, I sorta did that. That's not how anything works, man. That's not how anything works. So we gotta take intense action, intentional focus, intentional action, and get this shit right. But there's so much to be excited about. You got to be lit about life, man. There's so much to be excited about, for sure. For sure. Facts. So don't play yourself. Get excited about life, man. The journey is here. It's amongst you. You got no choice. You better deal with that shit. Suck it up. Pause. For sure. Like, just fucking figure out a way. And that's just really what it boils down to. Figure out a way to win. Will to win. Make that your focus. Make that your aim to win. Now, on the journey of winning and success, dude, there's going to be some bumps in the road. There are going to be unforeseen obstacles. You can't plan for everything, but can't back down. You can't back down. You can't quit. Don't give up. You can, but that's not going to bring you anything. It's not going to bring you any positive results. It's just going to bring you probably just more turmoil. And come on, dude. Why do you want to do that? So enjoy the journey. Enjoy the journey. Level up. Get back. Get used to earning your badges again, man. Get used to earning your badges again. Earn your stripes. Put in the work. Put boots on the ground. Feet to the pavement. You get what I'm saying? Whatever you're into, explore it. Figure it out. You don't know if you don't try. You don't know if you don't do. You gotta figure it out. Be curious. Have that curiosity. Have that mindset of like a child, man. Have the fearlessness. I'm gonna get ready to wrap this one up. I love y'all, man. Hop down in the comments. Like the video. Share the video. Subscribe to the channel. It's your boy Fit. Mr. 360 himself. Signing off. Don't be a victim. I'm gonna holla at you on the next one. 360.